Chapter 12, Assembly and Packaging. Learning Objectives. As a result of successfully completing this chapter, readers will be able to 1. Explain the setup and function of the assembly area. 2. Review basic procedures to prepare pack contents for packaging. 3. Explain the basic objectives of the packaging process and review basic selection factors for materials to be used with specific sterilization methods. 4. Provide an overview of reusable packaging materials. 5. Provide an overview of disposable packaging materials. 6. Discuss basic package closure methods. And 7. Review general packaging concepts with the package labeling, special concerns, and sterility maintenance. Introduction. When instruments have been cleaned, they are transferred to the assembly area of the Central Service Department. This area is also known as the Preparation and Packaging, or Prep and Pack area, and it is here where instruments are inspected to ensure that they are clean and in good working order before they are packaged for sterilization. This is a critical step because it is the last time the instruments will be handled before being dispensed to the operating room or other unit user areas. Potentially serious problems can arise if a defective or unclean instrument arrives in the user department. When these incidents are detected, delays occur. When they are not detected, risks to the patient increase. Therefore, it is imperative that protocols for inspection, assembly, and packaging are followed at all times. Like other areas of the CS department, attention to detail is critical in the assembly area. CS professionals working in this area of the department must understand the configuration of their work area and specific requirements that must be followed to work safely and effectively in that area. Definition: assembly area. A clean area of the Central Service Department where instrument inspection, assembly, and packaging are performed. The assembly area is sometimes called the Preparation and Packaging area, or Prep and Pack. Assembly and packaging area. The physical environment. The assembly, pack, and prep area is designated a clean area. Therefore, meticulous care must be taken to maintain that cleanliness. Airflow plays a critical role in keeping the assembly area clean and free of contaminants. Air pressure in the clean assembly area should be positive in relation to the outside hallways, the decontamination area, break rooms, and other adjacent areas, with the exception of the sterile storage area. The purpose of this positive airflow is to ensure that when the doors to the assembly area are opened, air flows outward instead of into the work area. Positive airflow reduces the risk of airborne bacteria being introduced into that area. Maintaining proper temperature is also critical. Temperature in the assembly area should be between 68 and 73 degrees Fahrenheit and 20 to 23 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity should be maintained between 30% and 60%. Housekeeping standards for the assembly area should be the same as for those in the delivery rooms and the OR. To reduce the amount of bacteria in the area, fixtures, work tables, and all other furniture in the area should be constructed of non-porous, easy-to-clean materials. In addition to routinely cleaning surfaces, care must be taken to minimize dust and lint in the area. Dust and lint may settle on the pack contents and be introduced into the patient's body during a procedure. The danger of lint. Lint is composed of fine fibers that separate from items such as wraps, towels, and other textiles, paper, and more. Lint can be carried on air currents and deposited anywhere. Microorganisms often adhere to lint. When lint is introduced into the sterile field, it can settle into a wound and cause infection. CS departments should make every effort to minimize lint. Good cleaning practices and compliance with attire and housekeeping protocols can reduce lint and the chance of entering the OR or inside of packs. further maintain environmental cleanliness, hand hygiene stations, hand washing sinks, and waterless, alcohol-based hand rubs should be conveniently located and readily accessible to all CS staff. Proper lighting in the assembly area is essential. Work performed in this area is very detailed, and inadequate lighting can lead to errors and eye strain. Dress code and personal behaviors. Personal cleanliness and adherence to the dress code is essential for preventing microorganisms and contaminants from entering the work area. The cleaner the environment, the less chance there is of contaminants entering a pack. Nail polish and artificial nails should not be worn in the prep and pack area because there is a potential for nail polish to chip and artificial nails to fall off. Natural fingernails should be kept clean and be kept at a length that does not extend beyond the fingertip. Long nails harbor bacteria that may hinder effective hand washing. Figure 12.1 shows a technician in proper attire for the preparation and packaging area. According to iahcsmm ST79:2010/A4:213, Comprehensive Guide to Steam Sterilization and Sterility Assurance in Healthcare Facilities, all head and facial hair, except for eyebrows and eyelashes, should be completely covered with a surgical type hair covering. Jewelry and wristwatches should not be worn in the area because they can harbor microorganisms. All staff members in the area must monitor their cleanliness and change scrub attire if it becomes soiled. They must also perform hand hygiene as necessary. CS professionals should not bring items into the area that may contaminate hands, for example, money, personal items, and personal electronics. Note: CS personnel should consult their facility's policy about the use of personal electronics and how it relates to infection prevention. Traffic control and environmental management. Everyone assigned to the prep and pack area should be mindful and protective of that clean environment. Traffic should be restricted and traffic control requirements must be followed. Care must be taken to ensure that items that may serve as vehicle for microorganisms are not allowed into the area. See figure 12.2 for an example. Food and beverages are not allowed into the prep and pack area. Food and drinks may attract insects and rodents, and residues left on hands after eating may transfer to instruments and impede the sterilization process. CS technicians assigned to the prep and pack area should always be mindful of potential contaminants that could have a negative impact on the packs they are assembling. Personal behaviors such as following dress code, performing proper hand hygiene, and avoiding situations that pose a threat of a contamination all help protect the patient. Work area requirements. The work area and prep and pack should be adequately sized to perform inspection, testing, and assembly duties. Supplies needed for those process areas should be readily available. Equipment such as computers, printers, and specialized instrument testing devices should also be readily available. See figure 12.3 for an example of pack assembly workstations. The work area should be routinely cleaned to reduce bacteria and lint. See figure 12.4 for an example. Primary goals of pack and preparation. CS professionals assigned to the prep and pack area must understand the primary goals of creating an instrument pack. The first goal is to create a pack that meets the user needs. The acronym FAN, which stands for Functional, Accurate, and Neat, can help reinforce the goal. Function is defined as follows. Each item in the pack must function as it was designed. This means the scissors must be sharp, clamps must be held securely, and multiple part items must be complete and functional when assembled. Technicians reach that goal by understanding how instruments operate and by relying on specific test methods to ensure that they work properly. Accurate is defined as instruments must be correct and quantities must be exact. Technicians meet this goal by learning to identify specific instruments, working with from an up-to-date pack content list, and verifying that all specifications for the pack, including quantities and configuration, are correct. Finally, neat. Neat is defined as pack contents must be organized and instruments must be easy to locate. Disorganized packs may waste time or delay treatment and care. When assembling any pack for sterilization, remember the FAN principle. All items must be functional, accurate, and neat. In addition to creating organized packs that contain correct and functional instruments, CS technicians must also arrange pack contents in a manner that facilitates the appropriate sterilization process. As technicians arrange pack contents, they must also take precautions to protect instruments from possible damage or content shifting that may occur during handling and transport. Technicians must then adhere to the packaging method recommended by the instrument manufacturers, one that is appropriate for the sterilization method that will be used for the items being packaged. Finally, technicians must use the proper packaging technique as instructed by the manufacturer. General guidelines for preparation of pack contents. Most instruments are prepared in groups called packs, sets, trays, or kits. Note, the specific name, kit, tray, set, or pack is determined by the healthcare facility. Smaller groups of instruments used for smaller procedures in areas outside of the OR, such as suturing, wound irrigation, or cut downs, which is accessing deep veins for intravenous fluid delivery, are often called procedure trays, also known as floor trays. No matter what type of tray is being assembled and regardless of its size, preparation of pack contents begins with planning. Clearly written and illustrated procedures for preparation of items to be packaged, usually called count sheets, should be readily available and used by all personnel each time pack preparation procedures are performed. Many packs have unique characteristics that may require special configurations and preparations. Count sheets provide specific information that helps ensure all packs are assembled, packaged, and sterilized according to the exact specifications. Item requirements for tray contents are usually identified by users. For example, a surgeon or OR staff would determine the contents of specific surgical trays. Pack content information may be collected and maintained in a manual paper system, or the information may be gathered and maintained with a computerized system. See Figure 12.5 for an example. Whichever method is used, the same basic information is provided to the assembler. Correct and complete name of the tray, a detailed list of tray contents including item, quantities, size, and catalog or reference numbers, essential steps for preparation and inspection and for assembly and disassembly of devices according to the manufacturer's written directions and or specifications. Also, specific instructions for correct placement of items in the tray, sterilization method and required cycle used for processing the tray, types and sizes of packaging to be used, type and placement of internal or external chemical process indicators in accordance with the facility's policies, destination or storage location of the tray, for example, emergency department or operating room cabinet 32, shelf 4. Once the information needed for assembly has been obtained, the pack contents can be assembled. All items to be sterilized must be completely dried prior to the assembly and packaging, as water left on instruments can interfere with the sterilization cycle. Moisture issues affect different sterilization process in multiple ways, such as steam cycles. Moisture will change the wet to dry to steam ratio. With ethylene oxide, E2O cycles, moisture will form ethylene glycol, which is harmful to staff and patients. And with hydrogen peroxide cycles and ozone cycles, moisture will cause the cycle to abort. Note, Some manufacturers recommend that lumens be moist from steam sterilization. If the manufacturer specifically requires this for steam sterilization, only those lumens should be moistened. End of chapter 12, part 1.